Hello there, Playtendo Guy here, and welcome to my review of Final Fantasy Explorers. Over the years, Final Fantasy have took up many different guises, with the franchise having a go at many different genres, with various degrees of success. But here comes the latest Final Fantasy spin-off, Final Fantasy Explorers. But is it any good? Let's find out. Final Fantasy Explorers is basically Square Enix's attempt on Capcom's massive hit Monster Hunter, and the game doesn't try to hide it. Yes, the game is a blunted attempt of trying to cash in on Capcom's success, but it's a fairly decent stab at it. The story here is pretty much non-existent. The game starts with your user-generated character arriving in a town called Libertas, and you basically help out with the town with their monster problem. The story here is something the game doesn't focus too much about, and to be honest, that's a good thing, so I can focus more on the gameplay and the action. Talking of the gameplay, it's pretty similar to Monster Hunter, but it feels a little bit more dumbed down. You start off in your hometown of Libertas, where you get set up for a mission by buying and forging weapons and armour, to using the giant crystal in the middle of the town, which you can buy and equip special abilities which vary from fire, ice and water attacks to healing and super powerful strike attacks. These abilities can be used but by pressing either L or R and picking the ability you want from the sub-menu that appears. You can also recruit monsters you've defeated to join you on your quest to make playing on your own a little less lonely. The quests themselves are relatively short affair, taking no more than 10 to 15 minutes to complete most of them. These quests vary from defeating enemies, exploring a certain area to collecting items which can be used to craft weapons and armour. It's fairly standard stuff, but it works well. The combat itself is quite streamlined and simple. In addition to your special abilities that I talked about earlier, you also have your standard attack which is mapped to the Y button, which you do rely on quite a bit because due to the fact that it refills your AP. The AP gauge is used when you sprint and when you use a special ability, but it can be also refilled by using potions. When you're stringing loads of attacks together, you can unleash a special attack called a Crystal Surge, which has a random special buff and a time limit effect on you and your teammates to help you with the fight ahead. Talking of fights, you'll be fighting loads of classic Final Fantasy monsters on your journey, these varying from Cactuar, which can go down pretty quick, to huge bosses like Shiva that fills the whole screen. With Monster Hunter, it was the strategies that you used against them, learning their moves, dodging when needed, that really made the series awesome, but with Explorers it boggles down to hammering the normal and special attacks until the monster goes down. And it is a shame that there isn't any really more strategy to it, but it's a perfect for those who have been put off by Monster Hunter and its iconic difficulty. Multiplayer now, and the game, like Monster Hunter, excels in its social focus. Getting online to find a game is relatively easy, and you can make or join a room with up to 4 other hunters. Once you start playing with other hunters, it runs relatively quite smoothly, with hardly any connection problems at all, bar the odd glitchy character movement. There's also local multiplayer, but I haven't tried that yet because none of my friends have the game. Graphics now, and the title looks really good with some great detailed character and monster models as well as some brilliantly designed landscapes. Though there is a bizarre exclusion, the game lacks any 3D support, which is kind of shocked me when I first played it. It's disappointing that there's a title that doesn't support 3D, especially so late in the 3DS lifespan. Final Fantasy is well known for its music, and Explorers includes some pretty good tracks here. You have a few iconic tunes here as well as some new ones to make a pleasant and decent soundtrack. Now time to wrap things up with a conclusion. There is no denying that Final Fantasy Explorers owes and borrows a lot from Monster Hunter, and while it may be a more simplified version than Capcom's gigantic series, the Final Fantasy charm pulls this through. With plenty of quests and some fantastic multiplayer action, I'd give Final Fantasy Explorers a 7 out of 10 with a title of good. The game is a great substitute for those who have been put off by Monster Hunter's iconic difficulty, but Monster Hunter fans will find it too simple and easy. Thank you for watching my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, rate and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.